So I think we can both agree that this decision's for the best. Your kind is a threat to farmers everywhere.
Indeed, Baxter. This predatory control program should work out quite nicely.
Can I see the population statistics again?
Of course. You can see the northern Rocky Mountains and the Great Lakes states where the numbers are getting out of hand. You'll make sure the rest of the states in these locations are on board?
Already done.
You're a good man, Baxter. Keep fighting the good fight.
It's very hot, be careful.
Have you seen this?
Something about the wolf people?
They're already endangered. And in the few areas where they're being restored, we're just gonna lock them up? Okay, look at this. Look at this right here. In the western states, that's Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin, there's only 3,722 living wolves. And in the northern Rocky Mountain states, that's Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming, there's only 1,782. Does that sound like a satisfying statistical information to you, Olga?
Well, for that many states, that isn't very many wolves.
You're right, it's not. It's not. You see, the reason why these wolves, the wolf people exist, is because they help feed species on the lower in the food chain than them. Okay, with the remains of what they kill, and also they control populations of God knows how many species. And you want to know something else? You want to get rid of the wolves? Well, fine, get rid of the wolves. But just keep in mind that you are getting rid of one of the primary hunters of ungulate species in the area. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you. You think you worry about hitting a deer now when you're driving? Well, just think about what happens when you get rid of one of the biggest predators. Huh? There's going to be deer everywhere. Oh, and let's talk about those beavers. This Baxter guy's going to be really happy when he finds out that eight of his states are overrun by the uprising of the beaver. Now, you're worried about your cattle now? Well, how about when you have to give up half of your land in exchange for your lives to King Beaverdoodle?
I don't think that will happen.
That's not the point. So, you're taking away an animal that has such a huge ecological impact. We gotta save the wolves. I'm gonna go talk to that Baxter guy.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'm from the Humane Society and I need to have a word with you.
Alrighty then, Leopold. Mind if I put you on hold real quick? Great. Alright, now what the hell do you want?
Locking away the wolf people? How do you feel that's justified?
Well, they're a dangerous species. Seems like the obvious answer to me.
So, expand upon that, please.
Well, more specifically, they're ranchers that are afraid of them killing their cattle.
I'm pretty sure there are more people concerned with keeping an entire species safe than people who have this crazy fear of them. In a study conducted by your organization in 2010, it found that 5.5% of all cattle deaths that year resulted from predatory animals. Now, that's not even just wolves, okay? So your whole selling point in this whole thing is that it protects farmers and their cattle. Well, the reason why that is because not many people go around at night thinking, oh, hey, I'm going to get mauled by a pack of wolves. Now, how do you explain that?
All I'm saying is that in these specific states, there's a number of wolves that's a bit threatening. So is predator control really that bad of a thing?
Of course it is. Well, what's going to happen when, or if, the wolves start moving to other states? You'll do the same thing. Do you have any idea how many wolves there were in the United States?
We have our sources.
Before they were wiped out in the Great Genocide of the 1900s, there were 380,000 wolves in Mexico and the western states. Now, Mr. Sources, tell me, how many are there now?
5,500 in the lower states. That's excluding Alaska. There's an estimated 7,700 to 11,200. But what you don't seem to understand is that we just live in a different world today. Politically, it's impossible to make those numbers come back. Not to mention people are afraid of wolves, especially for their pets. There's more farms too, meaning more cattle.
A different world? Yeah, maybe one where this population control is easier than ever. Okay, I just don't understand it. How do you think people lived back then? Back before the genocide? Okay? People did not live in constant fear of wolf attacks. Now, you obviously know your stuff. So, why doesn't this make sense to you?
Well, like I said, we just can't make your idealist solution work. There's funding my department needs to keep getting. There's people within the general public that need to be kept happy. Not to mention there's way more issues at hand that are of way more importance. You know, I wish we could live in this little fairyland, but I'm afraid that's not how the world works, Albert.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, this is my affiliate, who along with me, I'll have you know, has been putting a lot of time and thought into this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you let me listen in on the call so that way I can hear what kind of time and thought you've been putting into this?
That's crazy. You can't just expect me to let you listen in on the conversation between higher-ups of a government department.
Well, I mean, you failed to convince me. And I'm pretty powerful myself, so what harm would there be in letting me listen in on to your thoughts that you put into this?
Fine. Will you at least let me tell him?
Of course not. That would ruin the whole purpose of the whole thing.
Alright, so I think we really need to go over how we're going to go about this extermination protocol.
What the fuck is the extermination protocol?
Just...
Don't act stupid, Albert.
We got you cornered, just get out.
Be careful, it's